Bose just refreshed its lineup of ANC headphones, but should you get the QuietComfort headphones over the QC45s? Well, if you have 5 minutes, we'll take a look. Design-wise, these are virtually identical. You get the same controls, you get the same exterior, you have the same folding features, you have the same weight, you have the same everything, right down to the Bluetooth radio, it seems. If you liked the QC45s, chances are great that you'll like the Bose QuietComfort headphones. Yeah, I suppose there's a new color. There's that. And aside from the difference between the logo, that's it. Coming in at a whopping $349 versus the QC45s, now $279 on Amazon as of today, there seems to be a bit of a discrepancy between performance and price that is probably going to leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. When I was growing up, Bose had a reputation of not having much highs or lows. And it's kind of funny because, for whatever reason, they decided to change up the sound tuning of the Bose QuietComfort headphones over the QuietComfort 45s. Essentially, the bass and the highs are too emphasized with this, and in a way that's very difficult to equalize away in the app. There's a bit of a peak between 6 and 8 kilohertz, and sure, a lot of people might not notice that, but it does have odd effects on music. For example, if you have a lot of high frequency sounds and room effects, a lot of that is going to sound really, really loud, like really loud. And busy mixes with a lot of hi-hats might throw you off a little bit. Because there is a really big fall off after that peak, you also might get the impression that you're listening through your headset function and not your headphones. Okay, moving on to the bass. Normally, I don't really find this to be such a big deal, but if you're watching movie content, having such a spike up there means that a lot of the explosions, rumbles, and low-end sound is going to make the rest of everything you're listening to a lot harder to listen to. Think about how many action movies you've recently watched and how difficult it was to hear speech in the face of other explosions or anything else like that. This is going to make it worse. Now, normally, we wouldn't whack these headphones for something like that because most of the high-end noise-canceling headphone market has really good apps. Bose doesn't. You get a 3-band equalizer, and that's just not granular enough to actually address the problems of these headphones. And it's very frustrating too, because while the Bose QC45s are fine, they're decent, and their main problem is just that they're old, these are supposed to be new, and there's not a lot different and very little to future-proof them. And because Bose has decided to keep the older Bluetooth stack, you're not going to get any features that come along with LE audio or the new codecs. And while there's nothing wrong with using SBC and AAC, they're perfectly fine nowadays. The limited connection options mean that when you have a lot of competitors that are as expensive or cheaper doing more, there's less of a reason to buy these headphones. For example, the Sennheiser Momentum 4 wireless may not be as good at active noise cancellation, but you can listen wired through 3.5mm or USB-C. It's got a ton of Bluetooth codecs, especially if you like higher bitrate listening. And when it's $100 less than this, which has very little of that, it's a lot harder to part with that kind of money for this. As far as noise canceling goes, these are pretty much identical in the performance department. If you liked the QC45s, you will have roughly the same noise cancellation in the QuietComfort headphones. And our tests bear this out. But it's just not an improvement over the last generation, which is fine. You don't need to fix what's not broken. However, if you already own the older headphones, you don't need to buy the new ones. It's just not worth it. Now, because Bose is such a household name and they've got a lot of market penetration, you're going to be able to find these in a lot more places than the Sennheiser headphones, for example, like at the airport kiosks, big box stores, and online retailers. However, since these hit the market, the better buy is the Bose QC45s, which I know sounds a little ironic from me, given that the last time I appeared on camera, I was knocking these for being old. But as holiday season comes around and there are sales to be had, you could probably find Bose clearing stock and see these go on deep discount. As it is right now, the Bose QuietComfort 45s are about $80 cheaper than the QuietComfort headphones. And considering they're roughly the same, better buy, save yourself some money. However, the biggest competitor I can see will be the Sennheiser Momentum 4 wireless. Coming in at almost $100 cheaper than the QuietComfort headphones, They also have a lot more under the hood to get you where you want to go. The trade-off is that it has slightly worse ANC. And if I'm not mistaken, through my imaginary watch, that's 5 minutes. Thank you for joining us at SoundGuys. Happy listening.